Think about this. Think about this. Here's the issue with MEPs. Um, One thing I tend to harp on when it comes to the mindset of failing something, because again, I had the same worry when I went to MEPS. I had the same concerns. You know, I was so afraid of being discharged or failing the duck walk or something like that. Um, in hindsight, as I currently sit, staff sergeant, in hindsight, it wasn't that big of a deal. And if I were to be honest with you, it's not something to even lose sleep over. Um, Now, obviously, in this current time where people are nervous, people are, unsettled, you may not have, financial stability right now. Uh, the military looks like a paradise. It looks like, a savior of sorts. Well, it's not. It's not. It does offer a ton of different, entitlements, a ton of different benefits that you can, leverage and would benefit you. Those who, are struggling currently would see refuge in the military, but it ends at some point, and even then, you don't have 100% security because laws could happen. They could cut the force down in half. They could just, all right, we're cutting the force down to, everybody under 6 foot and, discharge everyone else, severance or whatever. So, when it comes to failing MEPs, if you think you're going to fail, reroute, reroute. Um, there are many options out there in terms of the world. When I think about what people get paid for nowadays, it's absolutely amazing the things that you could get paid for. Now, obviously during COVID, a lot of things have been, chopped. A lot of people are turning towards internet businesses, and even those at any moment could be chopped. There's that part of it where I mentioned how fear is irrational, and fear is something that you don't want to build on top of. Building a house on a faulty foundation. I'm afraid of doing something, but there's a certain amount of fear that plays into being courageous, meaning I know what danger is, and that's really what I make the separation between danger and fear, and that you want to turn towards acknowledging the danger, but then going forth and doing it anyway. In certain contexts. So when it comes to the military, it's quite safe if you think about it. On its lowest level, financial level, it's very safe because it's contract based. So you come in, you sign a contract, and for the most part, you have a guaranteed check for a certain amount of time. Well, the thing about security is that it lulls you to sleep. It lulls you to sleep. When you wake back up, however many years later, you realize that you lost certain skills that you once had. Civilian world, it makes you deal with the lack of security because some jobs have contracts and some jobs have certain clauses or whatnot, but most jobs can fire you today, tomorrow, with no notice. You're done. Whereas the military, you tend to know when you're going to leave, to the day for the most part when this job ends. So you can either take risk or you can fall asleep. You can put it on cruise control. So that all being said, if you fail MEPS, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not. You ask a lot of people in the military whether they like it or not. A lot of people, you get so many different answers. I like the military. It sucks. Worst decision I ever made. Best decision I ever made. Who knows? Who knows? But a lot of people who are successful, most of the world is successful and they're not in the military. Most of the world. Most of the world is not in the military and are successful. Most of them. So don't put so much emphasis on getting into the military. If you get in, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. If you don't, reroute. If you're 20 years old, 25 years old, you still got the rest of your life. You got the rest of your life. So get back on the horse.